Vent art. Art that someone makes to let out a feeling, usually a negative feeling like anger or sadness. So this week, I don't want to make it too heavy. I just have been thinking a lot and going through, normal life stuff. And one of the things that I really like to do is take a moment to make something that means nothing, yet also means everything, thus vent art. I prepped a couple of these canvases off camera with the Blackest Black from Stuart Semple and just sat down and did whatever felt right. I've been watching a lot of 1000, so some of the wavy lines come from his work. It's currently inspiring me, but a lot of this is just feelings, and maybe I can't even explain it to myself, but both of these pieces come from a place of truth. And what I mean about that is that each piece symbolizes something. They both have an eye. They both see what is happening. But they both respond separately. One, specifically, you'll see towards the end when I add wording, is about standing up for yourself and saying what you need to say, even if it hurts. And the other, the blue one, is about walking away when you have nothing to say. So they kind of go together, and they symbolize two very important things that I've learned in my adult life, and I hope I can teach my children and remember and remind myself that it is for the better. Sometimes you need to stand up for yourself, speak your truth, set your own boundaries, acknowledge others but take time away from them, and that is normal, healthy, and okay to do, and no one should make you feel like that's not okay. And those were kind of the feelings swimming around in my head while I was doing this. A lot of thoughts and feelings pertaining to my mother and my relationship with my stepfather, both of which are virtually non-existent. And if you've seen my coming out video with my wife, it would seem as though I've said that maybe my life is better without them. And in some ways it is. I don't have to fight for boundaries to be respected because they aren't around to disrespect them. But at the same time, they are my parents and I miss them. I'm not going to sacrifice my happiness or my well-being to have them around, but I would be, I would be lying if I said that I didn't want them around. But the truth is that the version of my parents that I want around is not a version that they've ever shown me. It's not a version that I would ever get. They are who they are, and it is not right of me to ask them to be someone that they're not, but it is okay for me to ask them to behave in a way that makes me feel safe and loved. And if they are not able to be my parents and love me unconditionally and behave in a way that makes us all feel loved and safe, if they can't respect my boundaries, feelings, see me as an adult, or treat me like a human being, then it is better that we are not in each other's lives. They seem to feel that I'm in the wrong somehow and that I have hurt them, and that's their truth. And everybody's feelings are valid. So they feel that I've wronged them and that I'm a bad kid for whatever their reasons may be. But they couldn't support me in anything I wanted to do unless it was something that they approved of or thought of first. I ask them to respect boundaries and they don't. They undermined me with my kids, and they didn't want me to even take in my kids. They didn't want, they didn't support me going to art school when I wanted to, and it was such turmoil that it actually threw me in a huge depression when they didn't support it, and I didn't go for a very long time because they said that I wouldn't make it, and I wouldn't, I would be poor, and I'd be a starving artist, and that's not a life that they want for me. And at the time, and even now, I know what they were trying to say. I understand that they were concerned, and in their minds they're saving me from financial hardships that they've endured, and I guess that's noble. But even if they are right, even if I'm terrible, even if I have absolutely no talent, as my parents, I just wanted them to say, okay, we love you, we support you, we like your art, you should do what makes you happy. And they were incapable, and still are incapable of that. So that's where these paintings come in, and it's just been weighing on me heavily for the last, few months, but I haven't spoken to my mom in 3 years. My stepdad in the same amount of time, but they have absolutely no interest in my life or my son, all because of the boundaries that I set with them, which were not unreasonable. I asked them to stop using the word gay. I tried to confront my stepdad about some trauma and feelings that he had caused in my life growing up. And I was basically told I was overreacting. I was told that it was irrelevant and that I was making my mom's life harder by bringing these feelings up, and I should just let them go. Anyways, vent art really just brings me some peace. I'm able to let go of some feelings. I'm able to acknowledge what I'm feeling and experience them differently, and also give them a visual representation so that I can remember that I already talked to myself about this. And I know that that sounds weird, but a lot of my art is really just to confront my feelings. Especially during COVID, you can't really go out anywhere. I can't go to my therapist's office, and this just is very helpful. So the silver and the gold kind of symbolize like the linings, the shiny little endings, and it looks really pretty and I liked it, but the silver lining and thing. So the irony in the orange piece is that it says speak up, and there's a tear that you should speak up even if it hurts. The silver tongue symbolizes the silver-tongued devil, that even though you're speaking up, someone else is going to think that you're being an ass, and that in your world you're just defending yourself, but in the other person's world you could be the bad guy. And I think the hardest part of life is accepting that no matter what your intentions are, or how much you are hurt, or what you do, you will always be the bad guy in somebody else's story. But you can still speak up, you can still remove yourself, you can come back to those people later, you can set your boundaries and set up a life that is healthy for you, and you can hope for the best, even if you have a silver tongue, even if your words hurt, even if your words are hard to say, even if you don't want to see them for a few years, even if they don't want to see you for a few years. Sometimes feelings need to be acknowledged. I know this week's video wasn't that long and it was a little bit different. If you like this kind of format or something that, we can talk about, go ahead and like and subscribe. You can find me on all social media. I do update on Patreon every now and again with special videos that are only on there and not on here. And I also post quite frequently on Instagram. Twitter, I don't really understand, but if you follow me there, I will enjoy having you on my friends list. Thanks for watching, enjoy, and I'll see you either next week or the week after.